All heroic deeds require a cost, otherwise they're not really heroic.
And his way of looking at the world.
When the BBC showed MASH, they showed it without laughter. There was no laugh track on it. So I suppose an English audience, we tended to look at it in a rather more dramatic way.
Some people think he was very liberal, but he was also a traditional conservative. I mean, he wanted nothing more than to have people leave him alone so he could enjoy his martini, you know?
I think we all want to believe that those people that are protecting us and saving our lives are really, are really extraordinary, and that they'll be there when I'm faced with that same problem.
Pick up the New York Times. It's enough to drive anybody crazy if you read the first 3 pages. I mean, there's so much out of our control. So when you are creating an environment, at least fictionally speaking, you know, somebody has to be in control of that environment.
Hello, sick people and their loved ones. In the interest of saving time and avoiding a lot of boring chit-chat later, I'm Dr. Gregory House. You can call me Greg.
If you just sort of read the specifications of the character, the sort of design brief, you would think, you know, this is a character who's going to be hard to love. The thing is, though, that I loved him right from the first moment.
Just take a swab and get it tested, okay?
Sorry. Already met this month's quota of useless tests for stubborn idiots.
Would you rather have a doctor who holds your hand while you die or who ignores you while you get better?
You should start broad-spectrum antibiotics.
Yeah, you might want to add some chicken soup. It's just as useless, but it's got chicken.
This is a very odd and unusual combination of characteristics and emotions driving this character.
The man's in a coma.
He doesn't mind. Not only does he not care when people don't like him, he doesn't care when people like him.
I didn't mean him to be a dislikable guy, but he clearly does have very, very antisocial qualities. What drives this guy? I don't think there's a simple answer. I hate simple answers, and I rationalized very effectively to myself, I'm still convinced of this, that once I'm able to summarize the character in a brief period of time, then the character's dead.
In some film and television drama, can be a tendency to paint the people in single colors, to assume that the hero is unendingly heroic.
Can't do it.
Nobody I've ever met conforms to that sort of simplicity.
You son of a bitch.
He's on the side of the angels without being an angel. He's not easily broken down into a simple mathematical formula. And that's part of the fun of it, because, and part of the truth of it as well. Because that, after all, is how human beings are.
I think ultimately the only thing that drives House is a search for the truth, and an individual truth and a broad truth and truth about everything.
The thing that rouses him from his slumbers in the morning and propels him through the day is the solving of problems. He wants people to see their own nature. He wants people to see their own predicament.
I just want to die with a little dignity.
There's no such thing. Our bodies break down, sometimes when we're 90, sometimes before we're even born, but it always happens and there's never any dignity in it. I don't care if you can walk, see, wipe your own ass. It's always ugly, always. We can live with dignity, we can't die with it.
All heroic deeds require a cost, otherwise they're not really heroic. There has to be a dragon, there has to be a risk, there has to be pain, and he endures that pain and fights that dragon. He pays that price in lots of different ways, and he pays it for the sake of seeking after this bigger truth.
I don't believe in relative morality. I do believe there is a truth, and I do believe there is a right way and a wrong way. What I don't believe is that it's simple.
There's something still I find very exciting about his bravery, his solitariness, the fact that he is prepared to sort of stride out into the lonely cosmos without a partner, without an ally, without a friend, and take it on. I find that admirable and compelling.
That type of deep emotional attachment is what television at its best is capable of generating.